Security considerations for sharing an iPad with students. After viewing this video, you will understand precautions you can take when sharing your iPad with students. Let's talk briefly about a security measure you should think about when you are sharing your iPad with students. If you'll recall back to our videos on using Safari, you'll remember that when you've logged into a website in Safari, even if you've closed out of it, and even if it's been a significant amount of time since you used that website, you might still be logged into it the next time it is accessed. This is exactly the same with apps, except you are going to be still logged in the next time you open an app. In an education setting, when we're sharing iPads, this can become a little bit of a concern. For example, I'm going to tap on my Pinterest app, and you can see that even though I just opened it, I'm logged in. You can see my name and photo in the top left corner, and if I scroll down a little bit, you can see all of my boards here, plus some boards that I pin on for GISD Ed Tech. So if I were a teacher in a classroom and I were to hand this iPad off to a student, they would be able to come in here and possibly add pins or delete pins. Definitely I wouldn't want them deleting because I pinned it because I want to keep it, and I certainly don't want them adding because it may not be something that I want added to one of my boards. So something to think about when you are using apps that require logins and you're going to share your iPad with students is you might want to log out of those apps. So for example, in my Pinterest app, I click on the gear up here in the top right and I could choose log out, so that the next time someone comes into this app, they'll just basically see this login page. And even if they were to log into an account, they wouldn't be logging into mine. Another method you can use, depending on your students, your level of trust with them, is you can put apps in a folder that's labeled for teacher only or for however you want to label it, and then instruct students that they should never be using apps that are in that folder. Again, this is a trust issue, so you'd have to think about this. But just looking at the apps on my home screen, let's say I stay logged into Edmodo as a teacher because I am managing my Edmodo classes, and I also stay logged into Pinterest. I'm going to tap and hold on Edmodo, and after the apps start wiggling, I'm going to drag it over on top of Pinterest and let go, and that creates a folder. I can then tap this X in the folder name and maybe call it Ms. K Only, and then I'll just tap off of the folder and tap my home button to stop everybody wiggling. But now I have this Ms. K Only folder. Now again, this doesn't stop your students from clicking there and getting into those apps. This would just be a way to talk with students and say these are apps that I do not want you messing with, and so that's another method. The safest method, of course, is to log out of any apps you don't want students getting into that you are logged into, and this other method is a trust method. This concludes our tutorial on security precautions to take when sharing an iPad with students. If you are viewing this video as part of iPad Basic Training, please continue to the next activity as instructed in the online materials.